Hey guys, MC Mura here, and today we're gonna talk about the upcoming character for Street Fighter 6, which is Crimson Viper. They have already put out Sagat, he was first in that pass, and then we got Viper. They did put out this teaser trailer at EVO. This was early August, which was very early, but obviously later this week. I guess depending on how you define the week. Next Wednesday. Like for us, it's Sunday is midweek, but maybe Sunday is a weekend in other places. Anyways, this Wednesday on the 24th, there will be the Tokyo Game Show, the TGS event, and Capcom have already confirmed that Viper will be playable at Tokyo Game Show. And they are also confirming that they're gonna do like a 40 minutes online stream where they're gonna talk about a bunch of their games, Street Fighter 6 included. If she's gonna be playable as a show floor, then there is a very high chance that we're either gonna get a Viper trailer at the event or maybe just before it, maybe like the Tuesday prior. Maybe like max on Wednesday we're gonna get like a Crimson Viper gameplay trailer, I imagine. And man, she looks so cool. I hate that she's doing it to my Lord Bison, but we can still be friends. I'm gonna say this is like, we're gonna call this like demo Bison, so I'm still in good, I'm still in the good with Viper. Now, I'm gonna be completely honest, when Capcom revealed the character pass earlier, I wasn't super excited about it, right? Because it offers like 3 upcoming characters, 3 returnings, which are Sagat, Viper, and Alex, and these are 3 that I never really mained in any of the previous games. I messed around with some of them for fun, but I never really played them. Obviously, I got you some Viper gameplay from Street Fighter 4. This is like a very famous match, Latif versus Daigo. Viper was like a really nutty character. I know that a lot of you probably have never really played her, and I'm sure you've seen the video from Broski, Sajam, etc. This is the most technical character ever. Sure, like she required like a lot of hard execution, but her gameplay was like very jumpy, very hyperactive. She's not what you would say a character that is playing Street Fighter. You know how to define out like you want the slow, methodical footsies type of. Viper is like the antithesis of that. This was actually like a really cool combo by Daigo. That was such an amazing pickup. She's like the antithesis of that. She's like always in the air, always active, very naughty. So I never really. I mean, she looked super hot, she looked super cool, but I didn't imagine that I would wanna play Viper. But this game is weird because I never imagined that I wanted to play Kimberly. Let me actually show you some of the progress. I've been playing a lot of Kimberly because of the guide. Let me show you some of the progress with Kim. I never played any of the Bushinryu characters before. I never played Guy, I never played Zeko. Take a look at this filthy setup. She decided to drive reversal and she paid the price. Never would have thought in a million years. I never even gave Kimberly the chance because I had the preconceived notion that she's like a Bushinryu character and I never really digged their playstyle. But I'm having the time of my life. And as you probably know, and as I said like 20,000 million times, I play Bison, and I always hated Bison ever since I was 9 years old. But here we are. What I'm trying to say is, there is a chance that I'm absolutely gonna love Viper. I'm already head over heels for her design. I absolutely have always loved Viper visually, like her looks, but gameplay, I mean, that's a different story. Here we got Viper in Street Fighter 4. I'm not gonna go deep into what the Street Fighter 4 version was like. I'm sure you've seen the others video, but we're gonna talk about what Capcom may do with Viper, right? We got our notepad here. We got our predictions notepad, and my first predictions is that Feints will actually be back. Viper had this mechanic where on her special moves she could feint them, Like you press punches and you could faint. And this is for like the electricity, this was for like the seismo. I'm not sure you could do that for the burning kick, but for these two, you absolutely could. And obviously that could lead to like cancels from combos as well. So it's like you're getting you could get that stuff to combo, right? Yeah, I think this is gonna go, yeah, this 2-hit combo. So you could get that to combo. Again, others have talked about it in depth. In Street Fighter 4, you did the special and then you pressed punches, and that's how you do it. And it's something that required real execution because the window for the feint was different depending on the version. Like for the light version, this is earlier than the medium, earlier than the heavy. So it's different for each specific move, and the cancels. It was complicated. I do imagine Capcom is gonna bring back the feints because this is probably the most iconic aspect of Viper. I think this is pretty much like her defining character trait, is the fact that she does have the feints. Maybe more so than like Thunder Knuckle or the Seismo or like the specifics of like what the specials are. I think feints are a very core part of her identity. Now, how are they gonna do it? I think they're gonna go the DJ route, where there will be like a version that is a feint, and then two others that do specific, like maybe like the light will be the feint, and then medium and heavy are gonna be attacks. This is how I see Capcom doing it. I don't see them completely dropping the feints because that would be very detrimental to Viper, but I do see her having them back as sort of like light versions of the specials. I know this is like a very boring direction, but I don't see the naughty Street Fighter 4 Viper with crazy execution being in Street Fighter 6. I don't see a Street Fighter 6 character with a crazy execution in general. Another thing that we kind of saw glimpses of in the trailer is her boots, where we saw she still had like the jetpack boots. I don't know, I don't call it thrusters on her boots. Like they made sure to cut to the camera here. Let's actually change the speed. Like they made sure to cut to her boots to let you know that there is something going on here. So I do think that Viper's ability to super jump, where as you can see there is like the smoke coming from her feet because of the super jump, I still think that is gonna be in the game. Maybe it's gonna be an air dash, maybe it's gonna be like a super jump, and she'll be like the first. She'll be like the first character in this game with a super jump. I 100%, I 1000% see that being in the game. I think Capcom is gonna keep the super jump, but as you know, this is Street Fighter 6, so super jump will be back. But it's gonna be a forced knockdown state if you got hit out of it. So I think they're gonna bring it, but it's gonna be in a state where if you hit Viper out of the air, she's gonna be forced into like a knockdown state where obviously she's gonna get juggled. I think these two are pretty much like the core identity of Viper that Capcom is gonna try to keep intact. When it comes to the moveset, it's hard to say. Burning Kick is obviously iconic. They showed her gloves having electricity already, so Thunder Knuckle is easy to implement, I think, or at least like a variant of it. But I can see like Thunder Punches being something that she got. That seems to make sense. Burning Kick, we'll see. But we already have some updates on the Seismo. This was a tweet by Will Tupac where he was talking about like C.Viper Seismo being back. Now obviously this was like a super ultra throw animation, but this is actually an emote. This is not like an in-game move. I believe this is an emote. So with that being said, they call it burst time, which is not really Seismo. I think burst time is Viper Ultra 1. If I remember correctly, her Ultra 1 was the one called burst time, right? Yeah. So this is burst time. This is burst time. So Maybe there is a chance that this is not really Seismo, but we will see. But I do think Seismo will be back just for the novelty. Seismo will be back. Just because there is no other character in the game that can have this. Maybe you can argue that JP spikes are kind of like Seismo, but I do think they are a cool part of Viper identity as well. And when it comes to her supers, whatever, one really cool thing about Viper in Street Fighter 4 is that she had an aerial super. And aerial supers, especially like aerial level 1s, are not something that we see in this game. I think it would be really cool if Viper was the first character in Street Fighter 6 with an aerial level 1. That would be so cool. I think that would be amazing. Like maybe you can do like Seismo and then jump cancel into it. That would be so sick. That would be so sick. Now let's talk about her release date, right? Because that's also like a part of Viper that is very interesting. Now they're gonna show her in the 24th, so I think unfortunately 21st of October seemed to me like the most realistic date. Unfortunately, because you know what comes out on the 21st? Oh boy, Ninja Gaiden 4, and please don't do this to me. Please don't do this, because I'm gonna be all over Ninja Gaiden. I'm sorry, Viper. Like I've been waiting 13 years for Ryo Hayabusa to come back. So October 21st seems really likely. Oh my god. But there is a chance that they're gonna put her early on the month, which I also hope not, kinda, because I'm still working on the Kim guide. Take a look at this dirty mix again. That was so fucked up. I'm still working on the Kimberly guide and I want to dedicate time to Viper. So my hopes is for something like maybe the 28th of October. Maybe they could do that. Maybe that's really late as well. I don't know. But I think either 21st or 28th of October, these seem to me like the most likely. I don't see them doing early October because they like to do the character guide and leaking out the music and letting a couple of influencers play her for like 3 minutes but only get to show specific moves and having like the level 7 CPU matches. You know how Capcom do it. So they're gonna milk it for a little while. So I do imagine like the end of the month on the 28th or the 21st. Either of those sound like real viable dates. I'm gonna go for the 28th. I'm gonna hope that my luck is good this one time and it's gonna be on the 28th so that I have enough time to play Ninja Gaiden, because it's gonna be hard for me to choose. I love Viper, she looks really cool, but my bro Ryu Hayabusa needs me. Anyways, what are your thoughts on Viper? What are your expectations? We're gonna see. Or maybe she's not gonna have any of the stuff I mentioned, but that would be a real shame. But anyways, what are your thoughts? What are your expectations? Let me know in the comments below. I will be leaving a link to the Patreon, Discord, Twitter, and Twitch pages in the description. Thank you so much for watching and stay safe. Man, she looks hot.